Hello and welcome to this video on Python for statements. Now, before we go into the coding, we need to understand why we need Python for statements. Python provides for statement to iterate or move through a sequence of elements in a particular order. This can also be used to automate or to create a task multiple times. Now, let us understand Python for statements with an example. Now, let us say that I have to print a statement. Normally, we use the function print and inside we enter the message that we need to print. Now I am going to run this. And yes, as you can see below, we can see the message is being printed. But now I have a problem in hand. What if I want to print the same message, let's say 5 times? So what I normally would do is print the message, right, and copy this command multiple times. Copy it, paste it again 5 times, and the output of this code would be the message printed 5 times. Now this doesn't seem very efficient, does it? Now this is where Python for statement comes in. So we use the statement for number. Number is our variable through which we are going to iterate on a sequence of numbers. And after number we give in range of. Now range is an inbuilt function that is provided by Python and that has 3 arguments. Now the first argument would be the starting range of the numbers that you want to iterate in. Now for example, I want to print this message 5 times. So what I would do, I would iterate number from 0 to 5. Now after this I'm going to move on to the third argument. Now the third argument is step. Now generally step is usually given as 1 because we are going to be iterating the numbers one by one, and we will see examples in which the range can differ. Now I'm going to go with 1, and inside the for loop, make sure you always end the for loop with a semicolon, right? So you get the indentation on the next line. I am going to enter my message here. So print message, and yeah, let me comment this out. We don't need that anymore. And yes, as you can see, the last output has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 messages, right? So this is how we are automating the print message 5 times using only one line, right? So now we can look at the practical applications of this particular for loop. Now I'm going to make a small change to this code, and when I'm printing message, I also want to print number. Now let's see what the output is. Let me clear so it is visible. Yes, as you can see, after message there's the number printed, and since our number is in the range of 0 to 5, we are getting all the numbers from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let me remove this message and I will run it again, and now the output is only the numbers. So from this we can understand how for loop works when it comes to a range of numbers. Now I am going to play with these arguments a little bit just so we can understand the significance of each and every argument. Now let us move on to the step. I had mentioned earlier that if we change the step, we can get different outputs based on our requirements. Now I am going to change the step to 2, and let's see what happens. Now the output is 0, 2 and 4. Before it was 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now what is missing here? 1 and 3 are missing. Now how this works is, after 0 that is the starting number, the number doesn't move to the next integer, it moves to the next second integer. That is what step means. It moves every two numbers. Now after 0 it goes to 1 and then 2. Now the numbers value would be 2. After 2 it goes to 3 and then 4. Now the numbers value would be 4. Now this is a very interesting application because now I'm going to show you a real life problem that we can solve by manipulating only these arguments, right? So now the problem is we need to print all the odd numbers that are ranging from 0 to 10, right? So if that is our problem, let us start with the for statement. Obviously after for we need to give the variable name for number in and the range. So this is the basic syntax that we'll be using. Now inside the range, if we change all the arguments to our necessary values, we are going to get the answer, and obviously we are going to print the number. Okay, so now the question is we need to print the odd numbers between 0 and 10. So the first odd number that we can think of is 1, right? So we can start from 1 and we will move till 10. Now that is what we are going to be doing. And for the step, so after 1 we have 2, but if we give the step as 1, right, it will print 1, and after 1 it will print 2, but we need odd numbers, so we do not need 2, so we need to move every 2 steps after 1. So it is 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So after 1 we need to move 2 steps, so we'll give the argument as 2, and now we should be getting our answer. Yes, 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. And with a simple change in this argument, we can change the sum, we can change the output from odd numbers to even numbers. Now odd numbers starts from 1 and even numbers starts from 0, right? So I change the starting point to 0 and the step is again same, because after 0 we won't be going to 1, we'll be going to 2. Now if I print this, I'm getting 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. Now this can be done for any kind of numbers, not just till 10. If I change it to 100 and I'll clear the output. Now this is the output for all the even numbers ranging from 0 up till 100, right? It starts from 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and it goes till 98. Now let us look at one more very interesting application, that is the star triangle, right? So for number in range, I don't need the step for this, and I will be going with 5. So the values that number can take is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? But if I'm going to print something, I don't need a 0 there. I need at least something to be printed, so I'll start from 1. And if I need 5 values, I should be going till 6, so that it is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I'm going to print a star, right? So now if I give run, all I will get is, first I have 1 star, and then I'll have 2 stars, and then I'll have 3 stars, and then I'll have 4 stars, and then I'll have 5 stars. Yeah, I need to make a triangle in that sort. So what I'm going to do is, I can't just print star once, I need to print star these number of times, right? So I'll change the variable to n. So I need to print the star n number of times for each and every iteration. So I will multiply this by n, right? So now I will clear the output. So I've cleared the output, and now I will run the code, and yes, you can see it forms a triangle here, where in the first row there's 1 star, second row there's 2 stars, 3 stars, 4, 5, etc. Now you can actually play with this and create even more interesting patterns, and so that you understand the importance of how the output will change when you change the parameters, so that you'll become very strong in for loops in Python. Thank you.